shorten it too short. I'll add some anecdotes to make you laugh. This session is all about how can we use technology without being technologically advanced. I'll give you some examples of how other countries have did. I'll also give you an example of how we try to do it. Thank you, sir. How we try to do it, and also some simple OS-oriented tools, how can you do, and some examples as well. So I'll try and make it more non-technical relevant so that it is important for all of you in daily use. So I'm supported by Sai Krishna Singapuram, and he is, because I had too many things to do, so I requested his support as well. He is a certified ethical hacker, he is a certified IoT security specialist, he is a certified cybercrime investigator, he is an InfoSec certificate, I can keep on talking, he has 11 certification. And he currently works for Data Security Council of India, and he is one of our core team member in terms of creating policies, processes. So especially when we file PILs and petitions in Supreme Court and the Parliament, he helps us drafting which speaks unbiased technical wording. So I think he's a great contributor. He's been writing so many times. I think he helped us to file more than 17 PILs. So thank you, sir. He's young. He's not even married. So he's like Sai. He's like 25 years younger to all of us. All of us are above 15 are trustees. So thank you, sir, for your wonderful support. And I am Anil Rachamalla. How many of you know? By now you would have Googled. How many of you know Uppal Balu? So that's the power of social media, and I'm not on social media. So unfortunately, I lost a lot of my lifetime savings. Once I put a company, then I started working right now. So I'm limited to working only on Saturdays and Sundays. Yes, the team has been so grateful. Police authorities, legal, jurisdiction, everybody, civil society like Krishna, everybody are helping us to accumulate the knowledge that we have. I am Anil Rachamalla, founder of Endnow Foundation. We are Asia's only internet ethics and digital well-being expert. We've been existing for 6 years. This is the first time that we took funding from anybody or help. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. And thank you both, ma'am. My ex-boss and my current boss both are sitting here. So both of them are, they run a $300-400 million company. So thank you for flying down all the way from Hyderabad. Thank you, ma'am, for being here. And one of the madam is also speaker on mental well-being. She is the one who sponsored the goodies as well. So we will directly go to session. By the way, I also write, I'm not a journalist, but I write articles on Telangana Today. I've been writing for 3 years. On the second page, Cyber Talk. On Sakshi, on family, it is coming. Previously, it was Walla, and Sunday it was coming. I did some 150 plus articles. I'm continuously writing. I started writing for more than a year in Namaste Telangana also, in the Batkama edition. So I'm not relevant on social media. I'm not popular like Kattar Balu or Uppal Papa. But from an intellectual groups and brainstorming, creating processes, policies, I'm very much familiar. So we most of the time, when I talk, people, journalists, lawyers, police authorities, everybody think that we are all pessimistic. No, we are not pessimistic. The approach slightly seems to be like that, but we uphold the constitutional rights in terms of free speech, in terms of civil liberties. So whatever we file petitions on loan apps or everything, so absolutely. So whatever. So our objective is not to criticize somebody or make fun of, but that's the style that we've been operating. If anybody feels inconvenient, please raise your hands. I'll modulate what I'm trying to speak. So we'll directly go to the topic called digital intelligence. What is digital intelligence? I want some participation. Just now we had snacks. Renu is sleeping. So what is digital intelligence? Some students are also there. We'll make it more interactive. I'll make it very short. In 30 minutes, I'll do it. I'm here always. Anytime, any Saturday, I will be present. So my session should be as small as possible today. So what is digital? Is anybody here? Gather information, verify information, and present it in as truthful as manner as possible. Not only just that, but use technology adaptation. I don't know whether Swami is here, Swami Mugdam. When I saw his channel, when he registered, I saw a robot actually presenting the speech. So things are going behind, whatever we think right now. So the possibilities are endless in terms of using technology. He has a digital recording room, nobody is there, it's just a system that actually does all the things. I think such people should be supported. We have lot many advancing things happening. The whole idea of digital intelligence to is use the technology not from a technological standpoint, from a convenience standpoint, and try and verify it, try and gather as much as uniform. Basically, what happens is, unfortunately, because of the so-called citizen journalism, the new concept has arrived. These people do not have any formal editorial policy like all of you. By the way you asked questions and interacted, you seem to be more knowledgeable than me, but I'm only presenting the facts in context to the citizen journalists. So they don't have any editorial policy, they don't have any formal education, they'll just have a phone and they'll just talk and they'll publish clickbait. So other day we had one article which says that Surekha గారి చెంప చెల్లు మనిపించిన చిరంజీవి గారు అని. I was surprised to know that in 7 hours it had got 1.8 lakh views. So I'm sorry sir, one guy is sitting here who knows this issue. So impact, చూడండి, reputation is not just communal, it is reputation, it is communal, it is political propaganda. Everybody is taking sides. You're all senior journalists. You have a disconnect between the editorial policies, I know, but even then, because of your formal education, because of your experience, you try and balance most of your articles. Beautiful writers are here whom I know personally. Some of them are related to me also. And don't take it in the context that I'm trying to criticize, but the whole journalism from a citizen perspective, it is going very, very wrong. Everything is a clickbait video. Everything is a clickbait. Nothing, there will be nothing in that video. Go to the next slide. So what is that you can leverage on? This slide is also very explanatable. The slides are also will be given in the pen drive itself. First thing is basically verification. So I think definitely all these slides will be given to you, sir. All these slides will be given to you. The verification of information is something. Then second one is it should lead to an investigation. So we'll have another session complete on how to do fact check. We will also do some, give some additional toolkits. The next one is how do we protect the source? Today also is not just investigation, not just fact checking, not just adhering to the law, but as a senior journalist or a whistleblower, there is so much of data that you collect, and you cannot have that half-baked data coming outside. If it comes outside, it could lead to a communal issue or it could lead to a propaganda. So how do you safeguard yourself? So protecting the sources, protecting the content that you're doing. We'll give you some small demonstrations, not a very big demonstration, but whatever is possible in 30 minutes. It also you'll also, as a digital journal publisher, you should look at that reputation. I frequently follow Sushil. That's how I got connected to Sushil. We become crazy friends. So you should know how to present that news. Presenting first doesn't matter. I know we are in an age of instant gratification. So I think, and fortunately or unfortunately, whatever activities that we do, we are monetized. So that is one thing. The next is staying informed. You should always have mechanisms as a journalist that you should have 10 sources of support that can actually keep you informed what is happening. How many of you know what is the election status in Bangalore right now? All of, yeah. So how you stay informed is you must have the same level of connection and enthusiasm towards regular day-to-day affairs. Should have channels that are open. And of course, definitely the last one is cyber security and the privacy considerations. So one of our journalists came down and said, can I have the list of the people who are registered? I said, it is private. So you must also understand what is GDPR. As a journalist, I'm not saying you should go deep dive into it, but what is that why is that we need to be private, and why others' data is very, very sensitive. So we'll have more Sai talking about what is that privacy law. Of course, you can probably put up on it. 136 countries in the world have, and we are the world's largest democratic country, and we have the world's second biggest offices. Our first biggest, Amazon is the world's biggest office we have in Hyderabad. Unfortunately, we don't have privacy law. There is no privacy law. People are talking about digital rights. People are filing cases in Supreme Court that their virtual avatar has been groped, has been molested. How many of you are following this case? Somebody from students? In the metaverse, one of the, you following? You must, please. So her virtual identity has been molested. So somebody filed a case in Supreme Court. We don't have individual rights right now. Where are we? We are the world's largest democratic country. So I think privacy law will give a lot of answers, and most of you asked questions about in terms of SOPs and all. So the Pandora box can be opened only when we have the basic privacy law, and Sai will put up to it. Next slide. So what is that use cases that we need to actually look at? I'll try and make it very, very simpler. So first thing is that investigative journalism should happen. Very, very important. మనకు వాట్సాప్ రాగానే బీపీ షుగర్ వస్తుంది. 100 మంది పంపించాలి. పొద్దున్న లేవగానే దేవుడు బొమ్మ కాదు, వాట్సాప్ ఉంటుంది మెత్త కింద. సో ఐ థింక్ వీ షుడ్ కమ్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ దట్. దిస్ స్మార్ట్ ఫోన్ ఇస్ సో రెలవెంట్ in our world that you will have the whole cosmos there. So I think we should also know how to connect and collaborate with smartphones. So we are having an exclusive session for a journalist association in Bihar and West Bengal. If you want to join, I'll set that link. We will tell you how to manage your smartphone better. So an exclusive 1-hour session. So I'll give my name, anil@endnowfoundation.org. Or else you can also write to support@endnowfoundation.org. So I'll leave my number 9664 Please have it, and all the programs will be conducted 9664 All the programs will be conducted here. And which place Krishna has to decide. We will do the same session, replicate here. Every Saturday I have a holiday. It's you to open the box. So the next one is the example of investigative journalism is, how many of you heard about Panama Papers? Okay, who is that John Doe who actually broke it? John Doe means no name. So that is an example of how investigative journalism. He didn't have any knowledge of cybersecurity. He is the one who cracked, he is the one who told it really leaked. By then it was all assumptions that everybody spoke about. 11.5 million high net worth individuals have been attacked. There was one other, what is that, dating website. I forgot the dating website where the data was leaked and
Tinder.
Not Tinder. Huh? Not WikiLeaks. No, this is no. Dating site. US dating site. No, dating site in US. So the data was actually breached. And it went into the wrong hands. Ashley Madison. Thank you, beta. So the data was breached, and what happened was that there were journalists involved, I'm sorry to say, that who were doing social engineering, talking about wife to husband and about husband to the wife. It's a big story. And again, the same journalist actually broke down and went narrow down how the data came outside. It's an insider job though. The next one is social media analytics. We have lot of social media analytics that happened. So prior to US elections in 2020 or 20 I believe, we had no knowledge of what deepfake is. But if you see, 96%, I think somebody from School of Journalism in Bangalore have submitted a thesis. 96% of the news that is published in our channels, so-called mainstream channels, was actually morphed through deepfakes. So Rakesh sir also has agreed to actually tell you how to quantify a deepfake versus an artificial intelligence. So US presidential elections was one of the classic examples. You just go type deepfakes in YouTube, you can do it. The next one is data journalism. So what happened was that because of the journalists people putting up so many photographs, so much of content was censored, but even then people were putting it on the blogs, all data was consolidated. And actually there are 71 countries in the world who framed a policy to see what is the best way to do distancing. So it is your data that has been collected, put into data sets and then quantitated. The other one of course is the fact checking, which I will talk about. So that most of them are technical, so I didn't tell. The other one is Verificado. Go to the next slide. So Verificado on a site, all journalists must see it. It has an English version and a Mexican version. If a Mexican organization can do, country can do, why not India? There were 71 journalists who grouped, of course 6 of them are main people. They are the ones who created an organization called Verificado, which means they were initially targeted at political propaganda. So they will put a very interesting, a data sheet saying that he has done so much of work. Infographics. So you don't have the time to read infographics. India is also, in fact, Indians learned from Mexicans and Americans how to do a fake infographics. Same thing will come with Chandrababu, same thing will with Jagan sir, same thing will come with the BJP also. So because of that lot of political propaganda which is going on, they have come out with a concept called Verificado, an organization where 71 journalists joined together, of course supported by 6 of the main people. They joined together and they created a process how to fact check. So way back 6.5 years back, anything that is published from any political party during the elections is like తులసి నీళ్ళు పోస్తే అది తీర్థం ఎట్లా అవుతుందో శంఖంలో పోస్తే అట్లాగా. If Verificado is telling this is fake, it becomes fake. That is a level of trust this Verificado has created. And all of them are less than 30. And all of them are females. Please keep in mind. You can see the team also in that. This very good methodology. Methodology is very simple. Okay, we actually go to the site and show the website. Go to the Verificado and show the methodology and the toolbox. Very simple common sense they used. For all journalists who are trying something to do in online journalism, this is a site which has got endless possibilities. Next time when I do a session, I can ask one of those founders also to be part of this session. We interacted with them. Very simple. We can do an exclusive session with them. And if you look at how you could go down, you could see very simple how they verified also. Nothing great. As Rakesh said, Rakesh started up his conversation saying that Anil has gone to ahead. It is not that. Very simple. And they moved from political to non-political. Of course, it has become a standard, one of the world's famous, not famous, I would say world's best fact-checking organization. And fortunately, we had interacted with them for a day in Bangalore. With their interaction, with their learnings, we also tried to do something. I was just a very small part of the tiny ocean. Full screen. So we tried to do something. I was a very small part of an initiative called Checkpoint in 2019. India had the largest elections. Of course, we are the largest democratic country. So I'll just show you. This was not taken off because of not proper funding. I'll share this, and I also share the case studies also separately. These were the goals, very simple goals they had. And if you look at the partners also, you can see Enno Foundation, very small. We were part of only training because we were completely non-funded. The goals are very, very simple. The objective is to create verified and have focus on large languages, because most of the fake news or most of the misinformation did not arrive from English prior to US elections. Prior to US elections, it was completely from the vernacular languages. Faculty supported it. We also had Google News Initiative also supported it. We also had Facebook Journalism supported, but it required over 190 crores to do this project for that election, and it was shelved off. So this was the team. So I can give you the governance. If the Press Association or the Journalist Association would like to create a similar process, we can also help you. We can also ask the pop-up news people to come down. We can ask the Mexican Verificado team to come down. We can have the Proto. We can everybody, factually everybody can come down, and if somebody sponsors, we can leverage. Be trendsetters. Hyderabad has always been the best technological destination, sir. If you think this can be done, and we can create a new initiative and be a hub for the anti-fake news or anti-misinformation, disinformation that is happening. So this is self-explanatory. You just try and see. Go to the next slide. You will see the governance, how the flow happens. I don't have time to explain, but how the governance happens. This PPT is going to be given in the pen drive. We can have a separate session on this governance. I can call all these people online to be present. So very easy. Breaking the fake news, you don't need technology. All you need is common sense. Most of the social engineering crimes that happen right now, I don't call it cyber crimes. 97% of the cyber crimes are social engineering crimes because they lack the basic common sense. And Indians are also not known for technologies. Indians are also known for the best scammers. Jamtara serial చూసింది ఇక్కడ. And also you have Devgad in Rajasthan, very famous. Kolkata also started right now. We also have people sitting in Pune and Gurgaon doing these scams. You go to Google and type scammer, India will be pehle aata hai, pehle Nigerian aata. Yeah, I think two things that are required for right now for India to standardize. One is the privacy law, and the other one is some definition of how fake news can be checked. I know Factly is there, Alt News is there, Sinha, we also have Boom Live, Govind, many people are there, many fact checkers are there. From Hyderabad, Factly we have. So he has also been associated with factcheck.gov.telangana.gov.in. So this governance, I don't want to explain it, it's more a technologically complex subject, but it is mostly common sense. If anybody is interested, we can do presentation, we can call all the parties. So we'll go back to the open source intelligence tools. So right now. So what is open source intelligence? Open source is basically trying to uncover the invisible, that's all. Going and searching. Googleలోకి వెళ్తారు, 100 రూపాయలు ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ చేయడం. How many of you understand? Everybody understand Telugu, right? Yeah, so some very one or two. So somebody loses 100 rupees while doing a vegetable transaction, and then he will end up losing 10 lakh rupees. Ashish is here. They would have cracked some 100 cases on that. Fake customer care frauds. And the simple common sense people are failing. So that means they don't have that complexity or the time to actually sit and verify and validate. So open source intelligence tools, actually we will only try to uncover the invisible, and we'll try and find out untold stories. So go and try and find out about me. Next. So there's a lot of misunderstanding from non-tech backgrounds that OIS ante emi ledu, we are just Googling, it is only limited to cyber security professionals. So somebody gets a marriage in my relatives, they'll call me, abbayi manchiga unna ledu oksaరి check cheyandi. Em check chestanu? Etla check chestam? Check cheyalem. పాతకాలం వేరే ఉండే, నా వేరే ముచ్చట ఉంటుండే. ఇప్పుడు ఎట్లున్నది, గూగుల్ www.matrimony.com కొడతారు, ఆల్గోరిథం మెషిన్ లెర్నింగ్ అయిపోతుంది, చెప్తుంది ఎవరు బెస్ట్ మ్యాచో. పెళ్లి కాదు అనుకోండి. మిస్టర్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ చూసింది ఎవరైనా ఇక్కడ? How many of you saw Mr. Perfect? Yes. So finally they don't marry. So you should know, this OSINT is not just Googling, it's not just for cyber security, it is not just for technical savvy or anything. Chala mandi anukuntaru, if you are Googling, if you are doing deep search, if you are doing scholastic search, if you are doing interrelated search, enta chestunte we are killing process. No, it's not killing process. We are trying to confirm. Unfortunately, Google is messed up. Okay, we are all becoming free interns to Google and Facebook. So that is not all about it. So basically what happens is that it will help us to make decisions whether that particular information is right or wrong. How do we do that? Non-traditional investigative methods have gone. ఇంత ముందు పెళ్లి కావాలంటే ఎవరు అబ్బాయి, ఏ ఊరు అబ్బాయి, ఏడికెళ్ళి వచ్చిండు, ఎక్కడికి వచ్చిండు, కేల్ కథం దుకాన్ బంద్. What is the Instagram handle? What is the Facebook handle? He is a riffraff, he is a vagabond, 20,000 followers are there, great guy, do it. By the way, I don't even have 1,000 followers also. So, go to the next. So what is that is most important on OSINT tools? One is fact-checking websites. As a journalist, your first job is to subscribe, not to YouTube channels, to subscribe to Factly, subscribe to Alt News, Boom Live. These are the things that you must commonly have notifications in beginning. The next one is, once you have that basic information, that of course PIB is also there, the government motivated one, then we can talk in terms of how the image and video can be verified. He has also told some information from a fact-checking standpoint. I'll go a little advanced, how better it can be also done. The other one is plagiarism checker. So when you write an article or write something, you try and ensure that it is not plagiarism checker. There is no plagiarism whatever you do. Chala important. I have seen my article, they'll just copy my entire article and publish in 101 online newspapers. They'll give credit, safe side credit and Some people don't even give credits also. So plagiarism checker is something very, very important. The other one that is most important in open source intelligence tools is media monitoring services. Monitoring ante chala important. Interaction. It is because tracking and analyzing the news. So social media monitoring, I'm not saying everything in social media, whatever you see is correct, but at least you should have that basic understanding of trusted social media channels, start subscribing it, start looking at it. The next one is sentiment analysis. Analyzing the public opinion, especially when elections come. By the way, I'm an expert sentiment analysis. We have a team. If we can also do a separate session on that. As a journalist, it is very, very important. Just because somebody is saying Congress is winning, it's not. Could not be. Or probably, as I told you, that there are just 10 people sitting in the conference and steering what billion people can think. No, it cannot happen. So we need to put facts as a journalist and tell the true stories and untold stories and uncovered stories. So for that, you need to have experience of OSNT. Right now, today's session, we have covered very little toolkits, but under SAR's support and Krishna's support, if you give us, then we will create a comprehensive, very large book of certified, cross-checked OSNT tools also we can do, a separate we can do, exclusively for only journalists. So this is a tool that OSNT framework, which everybody can also look at it. This requires little bit of technical knowledge for you to do, because this is like a one source of information. You can just open and show it. No?
Or else you can just skim through the tools first.
No, just show it. Just show it once. This is like father of all or mother of all, whatever it is. So little bit of technical knowledge is required. Little bit of patience is required. All that is there may not be true, but it's a single source. You can just click on. Can you read out? I'm not able to see. First is. Please.
OSNT framework. So this website gives you a list of tools for running different operations. For example, if you go to IP address, you get all the information that you want to retrieve about an IP address. For example, if I want to check that you received an email, for example, say a bomb threat that you received. It might be just a guy who wants to masquerade himself and create some sort of havoc. Recently, this happened inside an office. An ex-employee sent a bomb threat to TCS, I guess. So you can actually go there, identify from which location the person was trying to communicate, and see if it is a blacklisted IP, if he's sending a scammed or phishing email. And at the same time, for example, if you want to look up terrorism database, so you get that as well. So if you go here, you have global terrorism database, you can click on it and it will route you to that particular website. So for example, this is a website that it can take you
each
to.
Link you get, it's like a tree. This is like a mother of all. So only thing is you have to spend little time. Whatever is mentioned and specified may not be 100% quantified, but to our experiences, I think it could be around about 85+%. Little bit of knowledge is required. This one link is going to save your entire digital transformation. Little bit of patience is required for you to look.
So it has it is like a complete repository, a one-place solution from where you can actually route and skim through different tools and technologies that are available. So apart from this, we have covered some additional tools, so you can actually.
So it is so easy to cheat anybody online. I can just send a spoofed SMS to you that the today's session is cancelled by going into one of the website by paying $1-2. Or there are some free sites to send an email, spoof email. I can send as if CP Sir Hyderabad is sending or Anil is sending that the program is cancelled. So technology is way beyond. It's like a knife, good and bad. So as a journalist, you have to verify and validate. SMSgang.com, well and just pay $2, you can send anybody you want. MKs, there are hundreds of websites which offer such kind of services. So as a journalist, it is equally important that you also be on the investigative mode every time. Because whatever views and everything are accepted by world, so you have to quantify it before you put it onto the system. So we'll go back to the next simple ones. So actually this guy, Rakesh, is very kind and very sober, but we wanted to show you something more aggressive. This is pmice.com, a very wonderful website. This is not free of cost, where you can do it's a paid work, it is 3,000 rupees a month. But for an organization, I think each organization must have at least one subscription. Tell your bosses to buy it, and we mean it. It does a complete reverse image check. Google reverse image check, అయిపోయింది gone. అది gone case. You put my photograph, somebody's photograph is coming. Tina is also gone. Yandex is also gone. Nowadays, people are only remaining to that Invit tool, Invit browser. It is available for all browsers. Everybody is using Invit tool. It can do a video, photo, and even it can do a frame also. That is again like it's old gen.
We'll get from that, sir.
How
It
many?
depends on your online presence. For example, say if
Public
you go,
data.
yeah. So if you are going to search for a movie actor, so the results will be in terms of thousands, right?
Even Facebook photo కూడా చూడొచ్చా?
Yes,
sure.
any image you can search.
Facebook లో ఆల్రెడీ పోస్ట్ అయింది కూడా ఒక లింక్ దానిలో.
It's
Post
linked
I-
in the sense ki presence మీకు తెలుస్తుంది ఎక్కడెక్కడ ఇమేజ్ యూటిలైజ్
Trials ఎక్కడెక్కడ utilize it. Same photograph is shown as so many things. So that's a very scary tool. I suggest police authorities also should have this. It was free till 2 days back. 10 photographs was free till 2 days back. But now it is paid version. The other one is this is a tool that before you download, I suggest that if it is possible, then you go for a dumb phone, or else try and understand each application that you are using. Those report extras open chain. Can you show the demo? So especially journalists and people who are into police authority, this is very, very important. Don't download any tool. I don't know it is appropriate to say, we went for a trekking and one of our friend actually downloaded a tool called it is killing mosquitoes anta, adu waves create chesi. He downloaded it and he started getting all next day porn advertisements. So anything which is coming free is not of value, keep that into mind. So they steal a lot of data. So you open that website and put Just Dial. Just Dial is supposed to be the most reputed. Just Dial, yes, Just Dial. Just Dial is a search engine where Amitabh Bachchan also actually put it. So I'm just giving you some simple tips. If you don't know how to use the OSNT framework, let's go. Enter what is edit. Ravali.
I guess the website is not up yet.
No. Enter button.
Got it. Load of
So when you go to Just Dial, it is actually taking your camera, photographs, your everything, your speech, your storage. It is able to record, it is able to send SMS, it is able to see your emails, contacts. You forget about it. Loan apps fraud, loan apps fraud is just simply they capture all of that data. They have the data.
So this app will give you a complete list of what permissions each application
Each
is trying
application
to
is
access. For example, you downloaded an app called Calculator and it is able to access your camera. You know that something is wrong there, right? So any spyware that is installed on your device, you can actually audit that particular application here. So if it is on playstore.
Next time when we will do a session, both of us, we will send you a photograph. We'll just click it and we have your access. That's all. Just click the photograph that we send. We have your access. Anything which is coming free, don't do. Don't get BP and sugar for whatever is coming. Don't transfer it. Don't look at it. My best suggestion is switch off the notifications of WhatsApp. Your life will be better. So go to the next section. So this is something, if you get a lot of SMSs, you can also go to the SMS header and search whether it is right or not. You must have little patience to do that. But from an investigation standpoint, you have the photograph of mine? I've sent you email.
Which one?
Email, WhatsApp photo
About this?
This one is, you can just upload the photograph and it will give you a geography also.
Okay. This one? Yeah, but I can still retrieve it. 1 second.
No, you will download it.
Mali din
So any photograph which comes also, if it is not a WhatsApp forwarded, it can have complete GPS details. In fact, we filed a petition. We went through a Supreme Court lawyer and we sent it to WhatsApp, but they have not responded. We told them any photograph that goes through WhatsApp, it must have an IP address, video and photograph. We have a very small foundation, not even funded, so our voice was not heard. I'm sure big people like all of you will join hands and we'll file more PILs in Supreme Court at least.
So I'm just giving an example of pic to map. So as sir mentioned, like once you are actually uploading a photo, so there is some sort of EXIF data which is called metadata for each image that you are doing. So I'm just showing you an example of an image that was uploaded to this website. This is a test image. So based on the metadata, what information can we extract? This is a basic data, but if you enable more features in your camera, the more the metadata will be here. So based on the device, the asset that you own, based on that the information gets generated. So here you can see the camera on which the photo was clicked was an Apple iPhone 7 Plus. When was it clicked? What was the location? So the user actually enabled his geographical location while using camera. So we got the exact location, the city and the country they are in, and the latitude and longitudinal coordinates.
Everything, sir. It will give you directly on Google. So even if you take a selfie right now, without even switching on the location, you take a selfie and then the internet is on, it will tell you where you are sitting. You can try it after the session. We'll give you a toolkit, a temporary toolkit, but going forward, we are trying to make something more bigger and better. We'll give you more information. Go to the next slide. Very simple. So this is also some deep fakes. As you told, to make a 1 minute deep fake is free of cost right now. I don't want you to tell those tools in the forum, but 1 minute deep fake is. I have a photograph. I can make it cry, laugh, and talk. So how do you validate? You get a video of somebody talking. This is something simple tool. This is a free tool. You have a paid version, much more better tools also. We can give you more in the next toolkit that we. Yeah, you can show next.
So there is a website on the internet called thispersondoesnotexist.com. If you can go and access, it is easily acceptable to anyone. So the image that you see on the screen, this person actually does not exist in real life. So
What's
it is,
character?
yeah, so they are actually generating this through GIN. So the amount of selfies, the images that you upload on a daily basis, that is being extracted from the internet, used as like what we call as like adversarial data. So they are going to push this data from backend, identify the common features. For example, say, I'm going to select a gender called male and give an age of 19 to 25, give an ethnicity called Indian, and I'm going to refresh this image. So based on the data that this particular algorithm has, it is going to generate a new face now. Fine. So for example, just think about fake identities that people can create and masquerade themselves with. So you can also change the ethnicity to black, for example. So this is one of the powerful tools people actually used in the initial days of deepfakes. Now, as sir mentioned, it is far more advanced now.
Far more advanced. So you should be able to at least ascertain, quantify, and validate. So these tools, these are all free tools.
Is it based on AI, sir?
Yeah, it is based on AI. So it is actually taking data from the back end. So you train the model first, and
you
then
train
the
the
model
first
will
with
generate
sampling,
the
and then it goes. The more you train, the more better it will get. So go to the next one. So we don't have time, so we'll finish up. I think everybody is hungry. Next. This one is, as soon as we get short links, we have the habit of clicking it. It's a phishing. Phishing, and everything. This is the biggest culprit that actually people are losing millions. So you should know at least how to unshorten it. So I sent a form called bit.ly fact or fiction series. There's one journalist who called me and said, are you trying to fish? I said, why don't you unshorten it? So any link that you get, try and unshorten it. Probably somebody is trying to send you a malware or anything. So be a little cautious about as an investigative journalist. So a malware can actually take control of your phone directly. So very simple tool. There are many tools. And isitphishing.org, if you get a link and the moment you unshorten it and you feel that there could be some possibility of phishing, you can also use. Plentiful of tools are there. These are some reputed. I'm not saying go follow this, but just have the habit of isitphishing.org. Check. And one of the reputed ones. So these things are very relevant for all of us. So Wayback Machine, most of the time, this is also a very simple tool where you can go back so for example, enter EndNow Foundation or something, or enter your DSCI. So even the website has been changed, even the past data also can be collected. Investigating authorities also use this. So journalists also can start using this to found. So you can actually see the complete snapshot from its origination into internet. The entire lifetime of internet is already available there. Simple tool, you will get this PPT also, sir, don't worry. So you can go, it is there since 2017, we inaugurated. So you can see that website. You can go there, click, and it will have a snapshot. It may not give you a 100% private picture, but if you have that patience to sit and go back, it will let you go to the next slide. So that's also one wonderful tool. mxtools.com, email headers. You get so many emails posing as if it is from Amazon or posing from Hindu or anything. Email headers have to be checked. So all email headers have to be. How many of you know the lady in NDTV who got scammed and lost her job? Please. Huh? No. She lost her job. That somebody, I'll tell you the whole use case. She was actually, what happened? Somebody sent her an email. She's from NDTV, highly educated. Anybody? Anyway, so she got an email stating that she was from Stanford University. People were called. They sent her spoofed emails and they communicated with her. They had a lot of conversation with her. They made phone calls also, spoofed phone calls. And they sent her the offer letter also. After receiving the offer letter, she resigned the job. And later she realized that it's spoof emails and spoof websites. There is nothing, any of these bodies actually virtually exist in Stanford. She shamelessly put it on website and told everybody that be careful, do some basic social engineering before you click any damn thing. Who is that? Anybody here? Huh? No. Anybody here? One big chocolate. Anybody here? Anybody here? Huh? Nidhi Rasa. Nidhi Rasa. She was most highly educated. She didn't do the OSNT check. That's all. She wrote it specifically. I should have checked the headers in her column. Please go to. So next is virus total. It looks to be very simple, but it will save you in your daily life, not only in one investigation. So virus total, if something is there, you can also check. These are some free tools. You can have a file, you can have a URL and all that. Go to the next. So we don't have time. So this is something like an organization. I think all of you know. If any organization claims that we had one organization who settled up, who does a MLM marketing. I think he collected some millions and millions of rupees. So we try and investigate it and we fact finding and then we issue a report. So we got it through mca.gov.in and we could find out who are the investors, who are people part of it. So any organization which is registered under MCA, you can get the entire data. If you pay, I think it was 50 rupees earlier, now it is 100 rupees, where you can get last 3 years financial data also. To anybody. It is open to public. If somebody claims that he is giving iPhone for 100 rupees and he tells it is a private limited company, go and dig the hole. You will find it here itself. The other one is Google search. Most of the time, Google is the culprit. I am saying Google is great thing, great guy, is defined a lot of parameters for all of us. Is given the way we look at things, it is completely changed. But there's a lot of ugly things that also happen on Google regular search. So try and do an advanced search on Google always as a journalist. ఇంకా ఇది పెద్ద సబ్జెక్ట్. ఓన్లీ సర్చింగ్ మీదనే ఒక 1 hour చెప్పొచ్చు. కాల్డ్ డార్కింగ్. సో జస్ట్ ఓపెన్ దట్ అండ్ జస్ట్ 1 second. మన ఈమెయిల్లో కూడా ఇఫ్ యూ గో జీమెయిల్, యూ షుడ్ నో ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఆన్ సైజ్ యూ కెన్ సర్చ్. If it is an attachment, you can search. If it is only presentation, you can search. Don't go to Google and search Anil Rachamalla. No need. File size, colon, 15 MB, PPT. Away vastayi mails. You should know how to do that advanced search. Please go ahead.
This is how an advanced search interface looks like. So if you want to search about any particular topic, you can go here, give the parameters that you want to search. For example, say if some document, for example, say you are searching for COVID vaccine data for India, for example. Go here, select the country, give a keyword, for example, say COVID vaccine data or something on those lines. Or you have, if you don't have time or you forget how to use this, probably you can just directly go to google.com. So there are some shortcuts we are giving you as part of this PDF bundle. We are also going to give you some advanced search operators that you guys can use. So for example, if you want to list out all the government websites, so star.gov.in will list out all the URLs that end with .gov.in. And for example, if you are, as a journalist, you are searching for something on the lines of Wuhan conspiracy, for example, you select file type PDF, and you should be able to see all the PDFs like published by different entities here. So if you can see like NSA and equivalent of NSA, so they are coming up with a document called COVID Origins, where they talk about how COVID actually originated inside a laboratory. So this might be a conspiracy. We are not for or against it, but still, that is how the data can be scraped.
It is upon interpretation of each individual, but you can, as a journalist, you must do advanced search. Don't do Google search. Never do a Google search. It's going to be hopeless. So how many of you use Google every time? It's a Pandora box, privacy or user convenience. If I open a location, I can come very fast. If I don't open, I have to beg everybody and come. But which is important? I think you need to balance yourself. Go to myactivity.google.com. For the rest of your life, it will tell you which girlfriends you visited. Please see that. Please switch it off. So you go to Facebook off-page activity, you see how चोर लोग डेटा कैसा शेयर करते हैं. So I think these are all, I mean, yes sir. No.
What is the guarantee that paid service providers, they don't steal data and all that?
No, my mother told me is your father. Yes sir. Trust. We are living in a very artificial world. Everything is monetized. So
And at the same time, probably they have their own privacy regulations set up. So you will read something called as read privacy policy.
but once our GDPR is coming, where Sai sir will speak about it, then I think, Sai, if you're not wrong, 50% of the issues will be. No, we'll not cover. I'm saying if it comes. Yes, yes.
Whatever the website they are accessing, they are feeding information. If it is located in India, then definitely it should be compliant with that.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఒక జర్నలిస్ట్ ఒక 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 ఎంబీబీఎస్ స్టూడెంట్ ఉంది, ఒక అమ్మాయి తిరుపతిలో. ఐ డోంట్ నో, దే కవర్డ్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ నెగటివ్ థింగ్స్ టు టేర్ డౌన్ ద డేటా. దట్ జెంటిల్మెన్, ఐ థింక్ he invested 75 lakh rupees only in traveling and meeting people to tear down the data. Had GDPR come, 24 minutes or 24 hours, everything, try to forget. And try to forget, you can do that. So GDPR answers many of the questions. It's the Pandora box. You can interpret different free speech, liberties, investigation. So there's a complex understanding. For them also, you cannot be a John Doe behind the screen trying to do a crime. It cannot happen. It has to be quantified. Go to the next session. So how do you secure online? This is a very simple session. Basically what you do is secure file sharing is something that we would suggest. Don't use Google, WhatsApp and all that, or emails and all. If you have official email, it is okay. Otherwise you can use something called a secure drop, or global leaks is also one where you have Onion website is also there, you can start using. From a secure messaging standpoint, you can go to end-to-end encryptions. You can go look at what kind of data it is collecting, where it is doing its backup, what kind of open source it is there, what kind of ownership it is doing, and does it have a seal sender. Seal sender means I can send private information and police also cannot investigate. So don't do that. It's also a waste of something, you might get into trouble. But something like ownership, non-profit, I think you should look at. Signal is a non-profit organization. Of course, it is funded by, again, Instagram, again, commercial entities only, Instagram and Facebook. But I think Signal is supposed to be better than everybody. And of course, it is not of great success in India. But as a journalist, I know it takes time for you to change the habit, but Signal is much more better one. So also try and use encrypted emails. If you cannot afford to have encrypted emails, there are some free versions called Secure Gmail and Mailwap. So go to the next screens. Pushmail is there, where it will keep you secure. Nobody can steal the packet. It is a paid version. It is worth biting $48. You are sending a tender or something. At least the packet cannot be stolen. But from an investigation standpoint, they will know. Packet went from which IP to which IP, they will know. But the packet cannot be stolen, even if it's a zero-day attack. So go back to the slide. So this is like Qualbo now. This is again more an open source. It is private and secure. You can also do that. Next. From private encrypted mail services, there are so many things. But again, I'm telling you, never try and use anything which comes free, because you unknowingly become an intern to them, or unknowingly become a messenger, unknowingly become a server. There are mobile phones who act as servers for other application developers. How many of you know this? Yeah. At least 1 in 10 of your mobile is a server for other people. Nobody knows that actually. They simply think the mobile is getting heated and you're not making calls, your calls get dropped, your application doesn't open properly, you think somebody is hacking. No, actually they're taking you as a virtual server. So 1 in 10, I'm telling you, 1 in 10. So don't use free ones, try and see more paid versions. So this is Tails, another interesting tool, which incognito, it's called amnestic, incognito and live, which means that it forgets everything. It does in incognito mode and you can do it live. It is something like an operating system built in a USB drive. Most of the journalists in European countries use this. I'm not saying use this, but it requires little bit of technical knowledge. So that means you don't carry a laptop, you just carry a small pen drive and start using in everybody's system. But the IP is tracked. Legality is there. The IP is tracked. Anybody, service provider can get that IP. But information is secured. So go to the next slide. So these are some best practices. Everybody is hungry, so I'll close. These are the best practices. Authentication, data backup, encryption, so malware, metadata, how it can be stored. Go to the next slide. So these are all a lot of examples that we could do. Yeah, go to the next slide. I can give that. So these are all social media initiatives that are there. A lot of blame game. Actually, for today's session, we were supposed to have Google News Initiative guy also to come. But unfortunately, they were traveling to Singapore, he could not come. So this Google News Initiative is a wonderful initiative. I would recommend every journalist to log in and learn something out of it. Whatever you have learned, at least 100,000 times more information is there in this website. Not only this, it's a free subscription. Log in with your regular Gmail, nothing else. I forgot to tell you, 6,000 rupees research internship is also there. $6,000 per month in research incentive is also there for each of, if your idea is accepted. And also you can do Facebook journalism. That is also similar initiative to Google News Initiative, not as much as powerful as the Google is doing, but definitely you can also go through it. Yeah, these are some tools. Before I summarize, as a journalist, your responsibility also to tell everybody that, it's not only police responsibility, it's not civil society, it's not individuals. I think sometime when you write a news, you lost a phone, what to do? Just tell that there is a portal called Central Equipment Registry Portal. So it has been launched for Telangana also right now. So try and talk about it. I'll give you the poster. There's also article on our website, complete details from step 1 to step 100, how to give a complaint, how to regain it back. So keep that in mind. Then otherwise, when you lose money also, you try to understand how people get it. There's an article published almost in every website. If you go to a website also, it is there. 1930 is called Citizen Financial Fraud Management System. If somebody of your friend is telling that the money is lost, don't tell Stephen sir. Go and tell him to call 1930 first. That is automated, fully under their control. Fully, he is the biggest boss for that. So 1930 call karo, they will guide you. It will take time to reach that phone. I know it is very busy. If you are losing money, no police officer, no lawyer. First call 1930. I'm telling you, success stories have risen to very high. They'll ask you transaction, bank statement, who lost, why you gave and all that. And what happens, the beauty part of in this is that if I am the fraudster, I have cheated and have transferred money to the next 20 people, the next 20 people money also gets blocked. That's the beauty of it. And depending upon the gravity of the situation and officer's intelligence, he might even go to 50 people and block. Very success story. T4C and Cyberabad are all doing great success in this. So 1930 is something that you must tell everybody to do. Next one is One Nation, One Ombudsman scheme, which is 14448, which works in the similar principles of 1930. The only difference is it's for UPI payments. Okay, so I think we are done. So this is a crime scene. So how many of you think digitally, how many ways I can catch the thief? Count. One, two, three, any? 6 are there, any more? If somebody can come near, I'll give one chocolate. Go to next slide. Endless opportunities. Endless opportunities. No way somebody can shy away or hide away. No way anybody can end away, shy away. No way. Okay? Oh, we are not that famous on social media like Uppal Balu, but try and see if you can follow us. Try and, what is the toll-free number for Cyberabad? Cyberabad? 1930. 1930. So we can have more questions during the lunch, and we'll have more meaningful conversations. We have Sushil, deadly speaker. We have Sai, deadly speaker. We also have Dr. Sonia, who will also talk about mental well-being. So any questions?